All right, what's going on, guys? So you did read that title correctly. I'm gonna teach you how to effectively and consistently get laid without wasting your time. No bullshit in this video. Let's get right into it. All right, number one, guys, so find your strength, okay? We got cold approach, warm, and online, okay? Find which one of those fit best for you. Obviously, with cold approach, it's gonna be the most difficult, but you're gonna have the least amount of competition because not a lot of guys have the balls to do that. Warm, it's great because you already have like a social circle tie-in to the person, but it could backfire, especially if it's like at a job or a family friend, something like that. It could easily backfire and cause you drama in your life. And then third is online, okay? So this one is gonna have the most competition, especially nowadays, and it's gonna be mostly a looks game. I know it sucks, but I mean, if you're average or above average, you should have some success on there. But if you're on the lower end, your returns are gonna be diminishing. It's just the way it is because there's no personality attached to the phone. You know, they're just looking at a picture of you and swiping left or right. There's nothing else. If you feel like it's a waste of time for you, then just throw that one out and focus on the other two. With that out of the way, you scheduled your date. Now it's time to set it up, okay? Number two, obviously you wanna get her straight to the house if she's willing to. Structure that the best way you can. If she's not willing to come over because she has a certain code or she's conservative, fill in the blank, then what you can do is go to some place that you're pretty familiar with, like a local bar, coffee shop, whatever. Don't go to a place that you're not familiar with and is completely unknown to you because that's just gonna add more unneeded pressure and stress. All right, number three, guys, is pretty simple. Trial and error, okay? It is kind of a numbers game. It's called the game for a reason. You have to go out there and try shit. What works, keep it. What doesn't, toss it out. It's that simple, okay? If you get a good reaction, then you should continue to use that. So let me give you an example of this, okay? So the majority of my lays have come from online dating, and within the first minute or two, usually somebody is addressing like, I'm glad you're not a catfish, you look like your picture, something like that, or this is weird, whatever. And my first thing would be, yeah, I know, because the first girl I met on online dating, she was actually a catfish. And she's gonna be like, oh my God, no way. And I'm gonna be like, yeah, I just got out of a long-term relationship, and this girl ended up driving like 75 miles to my house. She had all face pictures on her profile, and I didn't think any different of it. And come to find out, she's about 70, 80 pounds heavier than I thought. And she's gonna either laugh or be like, oh my God, no way. And I'm like, yeah, I know. It was crazy, but I fucked her anyway because how else is she gonna learn? So that line right there, you might not think it's funny, but in the context and said in the right frame, 9 out of 10 times when I've tried that on girls, I get either a laugh or some sort of cheeky smile. The worst I've got is like they don't even address that I said it. And I found that works, so I kept it. Because the first 5-10 minutes of meeting somebody online is the most awkward. So if you have something in your back pocket where you know this is probably gonna get a good reaction, use it. Okay? All right, for number four, we're going back to the basics, guys. Can't go wrong with the basics. Touch and eye contact. You wanna have great eye contact. You wanna hold eye contact, nice, soft, sexy gaze. Don't bug your eyes out and like eye fucker, but have a good, strong eye contact. It's huge, it's gonna build up sexual tension. And then touch. This is a huge one for me personally because I'm not the most charismatic, witty person. You might be thinking that yourself. I have my moments. I say I'm like a 5 out of 10, whatever, but I know when to touch, when not to touch, and where to touch. I've really perfected that, I feel like. An example would be, you know, if you're at the venue or you're here on the couch, whatever, you continue to talk and then you place your hand on the top of her thigh for like a second or two, and then you pull away. And maybe in a 10-minute period, I do that 2 or 3 times. And a great sign I find consistently that if she starts to do this, the night's gonna end well, if she starts to do that back to you. So if she starts to like touch you there in your leg or touch your arm. That is a great sign and it usually ends well. So just kind of gauge that. If she's like pulling away and not comfortable, continue to build up comfort and sexualize and stuff like that. And she might not be feeling you at all, even if you try to re-engage several times, and that's fine. Like if she's really not feeling the date, you should be able to realize that and just back away. I shouldn't have to say this, but obviously places you don't want to touch would be like her neck, her back, and stuff like that. When you're first starting the touch situation, top of the thigh or like gently right here on the shoulder or the arm, is it. And don't rub, just a nice little bump and then pull away. Then as she reciprocates that, or if you can tell she's digging it, stuff like that, then you can hold it there a little bit longer, maybe get a little bit more risque. But obviously right off the bat, you don't wanna grab a handful or anything like that. Use common sense. All right, and this one here is huge, my friend. Sexualize and small talk dance, okay? Guys either get trapped in one or the other. Usually it's the small talk and they end up getting friend zoned because this girl doesn't see you as a sexual threat. You're just making small talk, talking about bullshit, okay? sexualizing fewer guys, but those are the guys that come off as creeps, perverts, fuckboys, whatever. If you do too much sexualizing, she just like, this guy's just trying to get my pants, he just wants to fuck me, blah, blah, blah. So you can't have one more than the other. It has to be a nice little dance. I know it sucks, it's kind of annoying, but that's just the way it is. They want to make sure that you're a normal guy, but also they want that flirting and sexualizing as well. So you do have to mix in the small talk, asking her about her life, stuff like that. This is the big one, guys. You have to pull the fucking trigger and be a man. I know it can be intimidating at times and it sucks, but the girl's not gonna do it for you. She's not gonna take you by the hand and wipe your ass, okay? So you do have to pull the trigger. And I'll give you an example from my previous, that bar that I frequent, there's a river and some bridges next to it. So I would always, after a little bit of time, I would say, let's go walk across the bridge. We would play around on the bridge. I'd pick her up and act like, oh, we're gonna fall, you know, just joking around with her, continuing to flirt, continuing to conversate. Never address anything that's going on, like, oh, we're going on a little adventure, aren't we? Never, none of that shit, okay? And then I would usually go in for the makeout while we were on the bridge. 99 times out of 100, it would go well. You know, there'd be a heavy makeout session that would ensue. And then right after that, on a high note, I would say, you know, I've had a great time tonight. I gotta get up in the morning, but would you wanna come back for another drink? It's only a couple minutes away. Keeping everything short and sweet. You don't want to be logical and say, well, it's actually 12 minutes away and blah, blah, blah. Just keep it nice and casual. Only a couple minutes away. We both got to get up in the morning. If you did everything right that I previously discussed, she will have no issue doing that. There are going to be some chicks that have a hard cutoff and they just don't sleep with guys on the first night, and that's fine. I mean, you can try to re-engage with that, but some people you're just not going to break, and you don't want to anyways. You don't want to force yourself on anybody that's not comfortable with the situation. All right, bro. So if you made it to the end of the video, you are the man, and I appreciate you. I tried to carve out the bullshit and make it simple for you. This is pretty much what my channel is about. I have other videos related to this, so check them out if you want to. Love to have you. Until next time, see ya.